Got a pretty lengthy Word doc for this one. Hey guys, welcome back to This Mess. So listen, I am the last person on earth to watch Inventing Anna on Netflix, and over the Christmas break, I had some time to actually watch things on my list. You know, the list that you always add movies to, but you never actually watch anything? Yeah, that list. I pulled it out and I watched Inventing Anna, and let me tell you, I spent 3 days watching that series, and I was hooked. Line and sinker, okay? All three. Today, we're talking about the story of Anna Delvey / Sorokin, and we're going to talk about how she literally scammed banks. She scammed the New York elite, and she was this close to getting it done. She also got out after only 2 years, which, spoiler alert, yes, she went to jail. Duh. So without further ado, let's get into it. In the late 2010s, Anna Delvey, formerly Anna Sorokin, was a young and ambitious woman freshly released onto the streets of New York City in 2014. Before she steps foot into the Big Apple, Anna had a very humble life. Born in Russia in January 1991, she's a Capricorn Aquarius cusp, I would like to add. Explains a lot. Anna and her family moved to Germany for her father's work as a cooling and heating transportation specialist. But regardless of her dad's working situation, he and her mom, for the most part, seemed to be very supportive of Anna. Whenever they had extra money around, they would buy her the clothes that she loved, because Anna was obsessed with fashion, with beauty, with the art world. She was very much in that, and she was so in that she, after leaving high school, started taking on internships in more fashion-related fields. She got a very coveted position at a Berlin marketing agency, working in their PR as an intern, and then later on, she also got a very coveted internship working with Purple Magazine in France. And she ended up going to a lot of the Paris Fashion Week events. There, she started making a lot of connections with people that were from New York. And I think that is what kind of planted the seed in her head to be like, oh, I need to get out of Paris. We need to go to New York, because that's where the real art is. Okay, the taste is in the streets of New York, next to the dead rat. Okay, next to the dead rat, not on it, next to it. So not too long after getting this internship in Paris with Purple, she's like, hey, I'm gonna go over to the New York location and just work there. And they're like, okay, go off, queen, slay. She grabs her passport, she gets her visa, and she heads on over to New York in about 2013, 2014 time. Before she goes to New York, though, she ends up staying with the guy who invented Fire Festival. I don't remember what his name is. She stays with him in Miami for a while before eventually ending up in New York. And it was kind of evident that she definitely liked to live comfortably. And if you made her an offering of a place to stay and she was comfortable, she took full advantage. She also went to Art Basel while she was in Miami, and she really started generating like an idea of who she wanted to be when she got to the Big Apple. So after creating all the connections through Purple, and after spending time in Art Basel, and after like living on Fire Festival ass couch for like a month, she goes to New York and she immediately starts indulging herself in the culture and the art of New York. All the people, all the events. You know, everyone in New York always has somewhere to go. And it wasn't to do drugs, it wasn't to drink, it wasn't to be a silly girl. It was to start making connections, because Anna had a dream. Anna had a passion. And Anna was going to get what Anna fucking wanted. And no bank account, no frat boy at a party, no nothing was going to stop her. So the second she set foot in New York, she was like, it's time to work. While she was mingling and establishing herself as Anna Delvey, no longer Anna Sorokin, Anna Delvey, she is also creating an identity that people would not only want to be around, but also a person who was well off. It's my understanding that although Anna does not correct any of the rumors people generated about her, she also didn't go out of her way to say exactly how she is so rich and well off. People were so taken by her and like how she was so effortlessly chic. Like, there is a type of rich person that you can tell that they have money because they have the Chanel bag, the Gucci backpack. She's rich, she's Logo City, like she might as well be a NASCAR, okay? But Anna was different, and Anna was stealthy because she dressed in a way that was like, oh, she's trying to keep it low key. She might actually be rich, because real rich people don't want you to know that they're rich. According to some of the sources I've seen, Anna would proclaim that her father was a billionaire of sorts, and she would inherit a humble sum of $60 million. But who and what her father was never seemed to be something Anna advertised, so this led to others to fill in the gaps. People thought he was a Russian mobster, a solar panel empire, or maybe even an old money classic, an oil tycoon. But not only was Anna's lack of background summary a bit interesting to people, it was also really interesting that Anna always would ask people, hey, can I crash on your couch for a little bit? Or can I stay with you? She very frequently would ask people can I stay with you? And if you're listening to somebody who's about to inherit $60 million asking you to stay the night at their place, do you want to go to a Hilton or maybe the W? You are worth $60 million. Why do you want to be on my IKEA couch? And a very distinct thing about Anna that people were very drawn to was the fact that she was a bit of a bitch. There was a DJ in New York that Anna had befriended, and although the DJ was not super aware of all of who Anna was, she did realize that Anna was always at these type of events and was always trying to take a picture with her and other people to make it known that she was mingling with these people. And there was a distinct interaction where the DJ's friends were being introduced to Anna, and one of them was oh my God, your dress is so pretty. And the only word that uttered from Anna's lips was Balenciaga. So her friends were a bit off put by that comment, and that's when the DJ was starting to be okay, there seems to be something wrong here. But the next person in Anna's trap, and one of the more notable encounters that she had in New York, was with a wealthy art gallery owner named Michael Huang. She met him and was hey, we should go to Italy together, to the Venice Biennale, which if you don't know what that is, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I want to go to this so badly. It's basically a 6-month-long art festival in Venice, and it's gorgeous. It's literally been around forever, and it looks so cool. But she was hey, I barely know you. Let's go to Italy, and you should put it all on your card. And he was say less. They go to Venice. They have a time, and then she says, hey, I'll pay you back. Never happens. But sometime after that whole trip, they had another awkward interaction where she invited him to a birthday party she was having in some club in New York. And although she had a lot of people at this event, it seemed like most of them didn't know her for longer than a day. So he's here ooh, this is a room full of strangers. Weird. And they take some Instagram photos, they post them online, as they do. And it turns out that the company that had put the whole event on never received any form of payment from Anna. And in order to find out who she was, they had to go digging through Instagram, and they ended up contacting Michael being yo, do you know who this bitch is? And he's no, I don't. Oh, she owes you money? Stand in line, because now it was starting to become a very much pattern that Anna is not too much about paying for things. She likes things, but paying, no, we don't do that. But also during this time, she became very good friends with a one Rachel Williams. Rachel Williams. We will talk about her more later. So around this time, according to the Netflix series, Anna was very much involved with some boy that was an entrepreneur, and he is allegedly based off of a real person with a very similar career path. But in the Netflix show, it seems like he's a much bigger part of her whole scheme, but in reality, he literally did not matter at all. I don't even think they were together when she started coming up with the Anna Delvey Foundation, which is the main goal that Anna has. She wants to open up this Anna Delvey Foundation, ADF for short. And basically what the Anna Delvey Foundation is an art space that would serve as the center of the next great cultural movement for New York. It would feature an art gallery, an exhibition space, at least 3 restaurants, a German bakery, a juice bar, and of course, only the poshest and most prestigious clubs in all of New York. But to get this dream, Anna needed money. A lot of money. And while ditching the hotel fees and restaurant checks was easy for her, getting almost $50 million to buy, renovate, and run this entire empire was not for the faint of heart. I think what most likely happened is that when she was dating this guy, whoever it was, she might have made a few connections through him, like at business dinners or, out to clubs or whatever. She ran into some of the very like high and powerful people of New York. And through that, she was able to kind of like establish herself as an individual, not in a relationship with this guy, but as an individual. And once their relationship was done, she was still able to communicate with these connections because she was like, hey, I'm Anna fucking Delvey, and you will listen to me. And people listened to her. Now, where on earth would this gorgeous, absolutely amazing structure be held? Well, Anna was eyeing an old church that lived on the high-end street in the city and began partnerships with real estate agents, designers, and chefs that would be housed in ADF. She even went on to brag that the building would be wrapped by Christo upon opening. She was working with some of the most high-end, like elite people in New York when it comes to those industries. Like she was working with the architects, the real estate agents, the lawyers that all had like, I don't know, 5,000 or more per hour as their daily rate. Like she was really working with some fucking big dogs. She starts making moves to get loans from banks to start making the Anna Delvey Foundation come to life. And through Citibank, she was able to convince one of the people there to basically give her $100,000 credit that she then used towards another bank in order to start initiating the process of getting a loan. It was like a goodwill deposit or some shit. But she also got another $100,000 to use as like fucking free money, I guess. And so she decided to, while prepping everything for the ADF Foundation and getting everything off the ground, she checks into the 11 Howard Hotel. This is owned by the same guy that she claimed was going to be the architect for the Anna Delvey Foundation. So she checks in and she's like, hey, I'm a personal friend of this guy. You better treat me really well. And people did. Okay, people were very attentive to Anna, whether they liked her or not. And the reason that the hotel staff was like, ooh, we love her, although we kind of hate her, is that although she was rude and a bitch and definitely not like a pleasant person to be around, she would tip anything with $100 bill, allegedly. She would give out money like it was fucking coming out. Like she had to. She had to get rid of this money. And she really didn't because it wasn't money that wasn't hers. And we love a queen that over tips. Okay, that's what we love. We love a girl that says, ooh, 20%, fuck you, let's do 60. And not only that, but she was also spending a lot of time at the hotel's restaurant and eating like $1,000 meals almost every other night. And while staying at the 11 Howard, she ended up befriending the concierge receptionist who went by the name Neff. And we love Neff, okay? Let me tell you this. We love Neff because Neff said, I am loyal, and she meant it. She and Anna just clicked right away. And although Anna was definitely like tipping her lots of money and taking her out to dinner and taking her out to clubs, like they went out to dinner with a bunch of like New York elitist snobs, like the motherfucker who like increased the price of insulin, that piece of shit, also a scammer. But regardless of all of that, Neff seemed to really care about Anna as a person. And regardless of how much money she had or was giving out, Neff was still like, no, that's my girl. But then other people like Rachel, for example, she was the kind of friend that Anna would be like, hey, I'm going to treat you to lunch. And then Rachel would be like, okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then never offer to pay for anything ever. And I can kind of like understand maybe some of Rachel's logic because she's like, oh, Anna is rich. She doesn't need me to pay her. Like she can cover anything. Like she's rich. She has money to burn. And Anna at the time, being very generous, was like, you know, you don't make a lot of money. You work way harder for your money than I ever did. So I'll just spend my money on you. It's no problem. But like, I'm sorry. Maybe it's just how my parents raised me. But like, first of all, there's no such thing as a free lunch. No such thing. Second of all, you never let somebody use money to control you in any way, shape, or form. Ever. You say, okay, you got this one, I'll get the next one. You wait. Just you wait. And if she couldn't afford it, then she shouldn't have gone. We'll get into that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. So Anna's at the 11 Howard. She's friends with Neff. She's friends with Rachel. And she also becomes friends with this woman named Casey. Now, Casey is a personal trainer to the stars, okay? She sculpted Dakota Johnson's ass for 50 Shades of Grey. And let me tell you, I did not like that movie, but her butt, cinematic masterpiece, okay? So she is this high energy, like super positive person. So of course Anna's like, oh my God, I'm enjoying the crap out of you. I'm paying for these personal lessons, but you know, I also consider you a friend. And Casey was like kind of becoming a little bit of a mother figure for Anna. And Casey also cashed in on the fact that Anna would be like, let me pay for this, let me pay for that. And again, I don't blame anybody for indulging in that kind of offering, because if somebody worth millions and millions of dollars offers to pay for a very expensive, delicious meal, you're going to say yes. But smart people like Neff knew that saying yes came at a price. So while that's all happening, Anna is staying at the 11 Howard, and she's racking up a bill. Okay, she's getting up there in the thousands, the tens of thousands. Her bill starts to get around $30,000, and then the hotel is like, wait, we don't have a working credit card on file, and we don't have a form of payment. And at the time, the hotel had just opened, so they weren't really familiar with the whole concept of wire transfers. That was a big thing that Anna always did. She would be like, I'll wire you. I'll wire you. I will send you a wire. And she told the hotel, I'm going to wire you money from Europe, but it's just going to take a minute, so just sit back, it'll come through. And it never did. So Anna's at this hotel. The hotel's like, bitch, you owe us $30,000. Like, you need to fork this over. And Anna's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send you a wire. And they're like, that's not good enough. So Anna eventually is able to get money by basically depositing bad checks into her own account, because remember, she had like Citibank or whatever, and she had like an account with Signature and all these other banks. Like, she was in the financial game because she was getting a loan for a multi-million-dollar project. So she allegedly cashed a bunch of bad checks and was able to get around $70,000. She paid back the hotel and bought them a bottle of like Don Corleone or whatever fucking tequila. I don't know. I have a funnel and some white wine. That's all I need. But she pays them back, and they're like, okay, cool. You can stay here. For now. She pays back the 11 Howard, but it's not really good enough for them because they never got a full form of payment, permanent payment on record for her. So a few weeks after, Anna is like, hey, I gotta get out of town for a little bit because apparently her visa is expiring, but she apparently has to leave the country every few months in order to reset her visa. So instead of going back to Germany, her and Rachel decide to go to Morocco. Now the hotel is like, hey, you can't be coming back to this. You need to get your stuff and you need to get the fuck out. Like, pay your bill and get the fuck out. So Anna's like, cool, leaving the 11 Howard. I'm going to go to Morocco with Rachel, and also Casey, who's her personal trainer / mom. They all go to Morocco together. And she invites Neff to come along as well. But Neff tells her mom the night before or the week before that this all is happening. And her mom is like, no, I have a bad feeling about this. This doesn't seem right. I think you should skip this trip. And Neff is like, okay, I don't really have any PTO either. So sorry, babe, I'm not going to be able to go with you to Morocco. And Anna, being Anna, is like, you should just quit. And Neff is like, nope, gotta pay bills. So have fun. But before the trip, Neff actually tries to tell Rachel that she shouldn't go as well because she has a bad feeling about this. And she has like taken mental note that Rachel doesn't really like to pay for things. But Rachel's like, no, I'm going to be a dumb bitch and I'm going to go to Morocco expecting everything to get paid for by my rich friend and not really anticipate any kind of chaos happening. And of course they went on the trip and everything was great. It was super fun. They went, they laughed, they lived, they loved, and they came home. So what actually happened was, once they got to Morocco, they check into this very fancy schmancy hotel. Did I write down the name? Let's see. Yes, I did. The girls stayed at the La Mamounia, I don't know, a resort in Marrakesh. This was an expensive place. Over $7,000 a night. $7,000 a night. And Anna charged everything to their room. Everything. They ended up staying at the hotel primarily because all Anna had to do once they're done with their dinner or once they're done with their lunch or whatever is say, charge it to my room. She never had to present a credit card. But unlike the 11 Howard, the Moroccan Marrakesh hotel was very much on top of Anna about her payment. They were like, where's the card? Where's the digits? We need some form of payment on file today. And allegedly, it had gotten so bad that after Casey had left the trip early because of food poisoning, the hotel management busted into Anna's room and was like, yo, give us a form of payment or we're calling the cops. And Anna was there with Rachel, and there was another person on this trip that I forgot to mention, a videographer that Rachel had referred from Vanity Fair, which I didn't say this. Rachel worked for Vanity Fair at the time. She was like a photo editor. And Anna needed a videographer because she wanted to start documenting the whole process of her creating ADF, including her vacations, because she was also doing business on the phone while she was on vacation. Anyway, he's recording this whole thing. And these guys bust in and they're like, yo, where's the credit card? And Anna's like, please run this card. Run it again. Run this card. And they're like, none of this is working. You need to give me a working credit card. So Rachel volunteers, allegedly, but allegedly she didn't. It depends on who you ask. But somehow Rachel hands over her Vanity Fair credit card, which is a business card meant for business expenses. She hands over her card along with her personal card and is like, can you just use these as a hold until we can get a proper form of payment? And the hotel is like, yes, a working credit card on file is fine. So Rachel is telling Anna, like, please, please, please make sure that you get the right form of payment on file before they charge my card. And Anna is like, yeah, no problem. I'll take care of it. Not a big deal. Like, sorry you had to do that. I don't actually think she said sorry. I don't think Anna's ever said sorry. But she did say, like, I'll take care of it, no problem. And Anna had already kind of owed Rachel a little bit of money because before the trip, Anna was not able to buy them the tickets, the plane tickets to go to Morocco, but Rachel was. So she put it on her card. And then when they went out shopping, when they first got there, Anna didn't have her card and Rachel offered to buy her the dresses and, like, have an informal tab of sorts. So Anna was racking up that tab by the time that Rachel had to leave the trip because she had to leave about a week in, whereas Anna was going to stay there for 2 weeks. So Rachel left early, did some business in Paris, and then went home. And when she got home, she got a notification that her credit card was charged the full amount for the room. It was $62,000. That is a salary. Now, as one can assume, Rachel was a little bit like, what the fuck, Anna? What happened? Why am I paying for things now? And Anna was like very half-assed about her explanation. She was like, yeah, I don't know. I'll send you a wire soon. Like, I'll send you the money. Don't worry about it. She was even going as far to, like, tell Rachel that it wasn't a big deal. And, like, that's the one time I'm going to be like Team Rachel. That's the one time I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, if I owed somebody $62,000, I would not be telling them to keep calm and carry on. That is absolute buffoonery. So Anna's still in Morocco and she can't pay for the hotel, and like the hotel is like, you need to get the fuck out. Okay, get the fuck out of here. And Anna calls up Casey, who's back in the US, and is like, hey, can you help me get a plane out of here? Please help me out of here. Like, I was mugged. I have no form of payment. I can't pay a plane ticket. Like, help me, help me. And Casey's like, girl, no worries. I got you. So she's trying to book her a flight, and Anna, through sniffling tears, allegedly, says, can you please make it first class? The audacity this woman has, I want it so badly. Casey gets her a plane ticket home, and once she gets home, she ends up calling Casey and is like, hey, can I come stay with you? Because I don't want to be by myself tonight. I don't know what might happen. And Casey is literally in the process of like getting dick. Like, she's on a date with somebody. And she's like, yo, I can't do this right now. My friend is not doing well and I need to attend to her. So Casey invites Anna over to her apartment, her very nice apartment, mind you. And Anna, being the brat that she is, opens up Casey's fridge, pulls out a full like liter bottle of spring water and starts drinking it from like the bottle instead of pouring a glass. And then she asks Casey the next morning if she could borrow a dress. Casey gives her whatever dress she, is feeling generous enough to give. And Anna's like, that's ugly, and wears it anyway. It's so funny. But Casey's basically like, you need to get the fuck out of my apartment. Because when Anna showed up and, basically made it seem that the whole Morocco trip was not as planned, Casey contacted Rachel, and Rachel was like, yeah, bitch, she owes me a fucking Tesla, essentially. So Casey tells Anna to fuck off, and Anna's like, okay, I'll fuck off for a little bit, but like, can I come back and stay another time? And Casey's like, no, you're done. But that didn't last long, because Anna returned to Casey's apartment not that long later, still wearing the same dress and coat that she had left in. She shows up again, and Casey tells her doorman, like, don't let her ass in. Don't let her in. Tell her I'm busy. Tell her I'm not here. But nevertheless, Anna persisted, and she ended up staying in the apartment lobby, Casey's apartment lobby, for like 5+ hours. She stayed there and waited until well after midnight when she finally fucked off. Now, the way the show tells it in Inventing Anna, it seems like she kind of wanders the streets and, has no money, so she's picking food off of like the subway seats in order to eat. Like, she's really going through it. So Rachel and Casey on the sidelines are like, yo, we need to get together. We need to figure out what's going on with this hoe. Like, we need to have an intervention because she owes me $62,000. I am behind on rent. I am behind on payments. I am begging people for money. Like, what's going on? And Casey's like, yeah, she stole my fucking dress too. So we need to get her ass in a booth and figure out what's going on. They get Anna to come by for like a little girl's lunch, and it turns into an intervention. And Anna's like, listen, once I get the loan for my ADF building, I will be fine. I will pay everybody back. And Casey, in absolute frustration, is like, Anna, the building for the ADF has already been rented to somebody else. This is not happening. And Anna, literally having like the published newspaper announcing the acquirement of this building by another company, is like, no, that's fake news. So after that very unsuccessful intervention, Anna is like, listen, I have nowhere to stay and I need your guys' help to figure out where I can spend the night because I don't have anywhere to go. Rachel and Casey, by some form of generosity, decide to split a hotel room for a couple of nights and give it to Anna. But they also make sure to empty out the minibar and told the reception to not accept any room service from her. Like, no, she's staying in the bed and she's fucking leaving. That's it. So she doesn't do that. She ends up staying at another hotel, a very fancy hotel, and does the same thing. She checks in, tells them that she'll send them a wire and, just let me stay here for a few nights. The hotel is like, no, bitch, you gotta go. So she jumps from hotel until she is officially banned from every single hotel in New York. Every high-end hotel knew about this bitch and would not let her in. It got to a point where Casey was actually calling hotels to see if like Anna was there or to do something with Anna. I don't remember exactly what, but the hotel was like, ugh, her. Like, they knew. So while all this is happening, Rachel is still like, I need $62,000. Like, I'm not going to forget about this. And she decides to approach the New York City prosecutor and is like, hey, my friend Anna Delvey might be up to some nefarious acts. You should know about her. And the prosecutor's like, bitch, we already have a file. Like, what are you talking about? Apparently, with Anna kind of like hopping around from hotel to hotel, along with the whole application for the massive amount of loans that she was doing, she raised a few red flags for the New York prosecutor and they started looking into her. Now, also during this time, Anna's whole arrangement to get the loan had been completely stopped. The only thing that stopped her and made her cancel the whole thing was that they had to go to Switzerland, where she alleged that her funds were, to verify them. And she was like, oh, no, never mind. I'll just use my inheritance to pay for this. That kind of raised a few red flags and initiated a little bit of an investigation into Miss Anna, along with all the hotels that have been essentially robbed. So while Anna is staying at one of these hotels and not paying, she goes to the restaurant and is unable to pay the bill. And instead of doing the whole like charge it to my room nonsense, they're like, no, you need to give us a form of payment or we're calling the cops. And she's like, I'm not going to do that. So they're like, cool, we're going to call the cops. They call the cops and Anna's arrested for the first time. She gets out on bail though, and that's when she meets her lawyer, Todd. Todd is a defense lawyer. He mainly works with like smaller crimes, like petty stuff. He deals with rapists too, which is like super fun, I'm sure. But he's a criminal defense attorney and he helps Anna out with this whole thing because she's being charged with a lot of stuff. But during their whole conversation when she's released on bail, she's like, I don't really have anywhere to stay, so can I stay with you? And he's like, no. So she's out on her own again, and instead of staying in town and attending her court hearing the next day and, going through the process so that she cannot fuck herself even further, she decides to cash more bad checks, gets around $8,200 and books a flight to LA. She was supposed to be in court at 8 o'clock. She was at LAX at 8:05. So she leaves the state of New York while being criminally investigated, which is a big no-no. When Anna gets to LA, she decides to check herself into a rehab, which I think was more of a strategic thing than like a preference thing, because I'm sure rehab payment is a little bit different than hotel payment. And while she's there, she gets a call from her friend Rachel, who she's kind of been avoiding because she owes her like, a bit of a large fortune. And Rachel's like, "Hey girl, how you doing? What's up?" And Anna's like, "Oh my God, bitch, how are you?" Like totally not suspecting anything. Rachel's like, "Hey, I happen to be in town in LA. I would love to meet up with you." And Anna's like, "Totally, let's get some lunch. I'm walking out now." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm right here. Let's meet up." So Anna walks out onto public property and she is promptly arrested by local police. Now, what had happened is when Anna went to LA instead of going to her court hearing, Rachel found out about it and had noticed on her Instagram that Anna was very much in a very specific place in LA. So she contacts the prosecutor again, fucking snitch, calls the prosecutor again and is like, "Yo, your girl is in this place. Like, I will help you get her. Let's get this bitch." So she calls her up, pretends to be in town, and lures Anna out to get arrested. She even continues to text her after the arrest, acting like she's not working with the fucking police. So Anna's arrested for not only skipping town while she's out, but also more charges, including Rachel's charges, because Rachel, of course, needs to get involved in this. Rachel adds a charge of grand larceny against her, or whatever the fuck. Stealing, I don't know what she charged her with. Fucking bullshit is what it was. Anna is in such deep dark shit, it's not even funny. So she not only did she get in trouble for skipping town, but now she has no choice of bail. Because the judge is like, no, she's a fucking flight risk because she has been a flight risk. Keep her ass in Rikers. So Anna's officially booked in jail. The news of a fake German heiress circulated the city through a few small publications and found its way to Jessica Pressler, the author of the story that Netflix based its show on. She decides to pursue a story about Anna. Who is she? How did she get this far without a single cent to her name? She begins to visit Anna and looks into the wild world Anna lived on the outside of Rikers' walls. She literally is pregnant during this whole process too, Jessica, and she's like booking bus trips to go see Anna. So as the trial is coming up, because of course Anna's going to trial, she's offered a plea deal of like, I think maybe 2 to 4, 5 years. Like it's a very short amount of time she would have gotten, but she would have had to admit guilt to everything. And to Anna, she wasn't guilty. She still isn't. Because she wasn't doing anything in her mind that would warrant this kind of charge. She was a businesswoman. She was doing business. The article Jessica writes gets published not too long before the actual trial, and Jessica actually ended up being a part of the whole trial. Not like on the stand or anything, but she was attending every session, and she actually ended up doing a few errands for Anna while she was on trial. And the article is a big hit. People love it. People are eating it up because who doesn't love the idea of a modern day Robin Hood as a woman in Chanel boots? But a lot of people took the article as like a bit of a caricature of who Anna was. But Jessica intended the article to take Anna very seriously. Like she listened to Anna and formed a very sincere relationship throughout the process of writing this article. But because people can't really handle the idea of a woman, period, but they really can't handle the idea of a woman being selfish and evil, they just write Anna off as some snobby ass bitch who only lied to get shoes and stuff. Now, on the surface level, that seemed to be the story, but to those who could see what Anna was about, they saw her for what she was. They saw a young girl with the guts, the know-how, and the balls to take on the New York elite and make them fall to their feet. She got the top of the top to sit at her table. After the buzz of the article, the trial went from like a standard criminal case to a media frenzy. And it also was not helpful, let's say, for the prosecution in this situation because Neff, that loyal ass bitch, she showed up to Anna's trial, and not only did she show up, she documented all of Anna's outfits during the trial and allegedly started the Instagram account Anna Delvey Court Clothes. This also helped perpetuate Anna's like stardom, I guess you could say, and people were ravenous for her. Now, the clothes that Anna wore during the trial is another thing. And now I'm pretty sure this is a law everywhere, but a defendant is not allowed to attend their court trial, whatever, in jail attire. They have to be given civilian clothes because if they show up in a jail jumpsuit, it might create an unnecessary bias against them. Like, okay, they're already in jail, keep them there. So instead of wearing what the court had offered her, Anna made it very clear that she was not going to attend this trial unless she wore things that she knew were going to work. And although I think this is some speculation, apparently on the first day of trial, Anna had delayed it by an hour and a half because she didn't have anything to wear. Now, the judge and everyone else made it seem that like, oh, she's just being a pretentious bitch. She's not coming to trial. Like, what the fuck? And reality, it seemed like the courthouse did not really provide Anna with clothing that was like her size or even fit her. So she was like, I'm not going to go into that courtroom and look like a schlub. Like, the whole reason I'm going on trial is to change the story. And as somebody who cares very deeply about fashion and clothes and has no access to hair care, makeup, or any other type of luxurious appearance-based material, clothing was the only thing that she had. So she makes a big stink about the clothes, and basically the attorney Todd and Jess and a few other people had coordinated getting clothes to her. And let me tell you, I love these court outfits. It's a fucking show is what it was, a fashion show. And that dress, that black slip V-neck plunging line dress with the little choke collar, let me tell you, I have not stopped thinking about this dress. I love this dress. I've been trying to find this dress. If you know what this dress is called, please link it below. But she was just an icon throughout this whole process, a true fashion icon. Like, she pulled it the fuck out. She was like, if you're gonna put me on trial, it's gonna be in fucking Miu Miu, bitch. Anna never takes the stand in her trial, but you know who does? Miss Rachel Williams. That's right. Her literal friend takes the stand against her and tells this whole sob story about how she was duped by Anna and thought that she was gonna be able to pay her back and all this stuff, and oh, woe is me, and the jury is not buying any of it, because on the cross-examination, Todd approaches and is like, listen, you are a hypocrite, Miss Rachel Williams, because you have accepted several media deals after this whole situation, including publishing a handwritten first account of the events in Morocco in Vanity Fair. She got so much out of the situation. She was making about $500,000 by the time the trial had happened. And the whole debt, the whole $62,000 allegedly was resolved through the banks. So it wasn't like she actually lost anything, and yet she was still on the stand trying to sell out her friend who had exhibited so much generosity to her. Todd was saying all of this, but in a way that was very much different, because Rachel legitimately cried and broke down on the stand because of the cross-examination. And he was right to call her out. She was being a hypocrite. Like, how can you accept everything with open hands, but then when it comes to your turn to pay the piper, all of a sudden, we're an amputee? Like, I don't understand. So Rachel is unsuccessful in her whole situation during the trial. And although Anna is found pretty much guilty of everything except for one grand larceny charge and the charge with Rachel, she's guilty on all counts. And her ass gets sent to jail from a minimum of 3 years to a maximum of 12. Definitely wasn't as good as the plea deal, but Anna was able to tell her story and she was happy with that. A big thing about Anna that I realized while watching all these interviews with her, she never once was like, pity me. Like, she always was like, I did what I did. I'm going to jail. I'm not going to cry about it. Like, it is what it is. She's always kept it real, to say the least. And for people like Rachel, who after the trial was still giving interviews, she interviewed with Dr. Phil, she interviewed with Dr. whatever, she was on so many different news specials talking about this, and so often she was like, oh, I just want to put it past me, I want to get to a point where I don't know who Anna Delvey. Bitch, no you don't. You want to check. That's what you want. And she keeps claiming that I was making the best out of a bad situation. No, The best out of a bad situation would have been you getting your issue resolved through the bank, and it did, and you walking away from the situation without a Netflix HBO special book deal. Like, don't be acting like you're some fucking victim when you are literally the same as Anna. You are literally the same. You're just dumber. So Anna goes to jail for a few years, and she ends up getting out on good behavior about, like, I don't know, I think February 2021, she was released. Unfortunately, though, not too long after Anna was released in 2021, she was then locked back up by ICE because her visa had expired while she was in jail. And also she committed some crimes which warranted her visa application to get reviewed. So for a while, she was actually in an ICE detention center, but because I believe, allegedly, my opinion, she was involved with a class action lawsuit against ICE for neglectful care, they refused to give her a COVID shot, and she got COVID like 2 weeks later and is now living on house arrest in New York. She is living in a $14,000 a month apartment in New York. And she's living off of the Netflix deal that she got, which was around $320,000. But because of the Son of Sam law, she only was able to get about $20,000 out of that because everything else went to the victims of her crimes and her lawyer fees and all that other stuff. She was able to make like $20,000 from it essentially. But the bulk of her income is now coming from her art pieces. She drew and illustrated while she was experiencing incarceration, and a lot of people, including celebrities, have been picking them up. But now she's living a very humble life off social media because immigration said no more Instagram. If you listen to interviews with her now, you can really tell that that's a different person than who was sitting in that chair during the trial. She seems a lot more grounded, a lot more reasonable, and although a lot of people allege that she was a big bitch and horrible and blah, 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 she seems very lovely now. Like, I just finished watching the interview she had with Whitney Cummings, I don't know what her name is. She had an interview with Whitney, and although I didn't really care for Whitney in that, I loved Anna because Anna was just keeping it calm, cool, cute, and very mysterious. And I understand the allure behind her. I mean, she's such an interesting person. And like I said before, who doesn't love the idea of stealing from the rich and giving to yourself? That sounds awesome. Who doesn't like that? Everyone seemed to walk away from it without that much going on. Rachel's debts were taken care of, if not by the bank, allegedly, by her own income from selling out her friend. Casey, the trainer, just doesn't give a fuck about the whole situation, is like, I'm glad she's doing well, don't want her in my life. And her friend Neff and her are still friends. She used to visit her while she's at Rikers, and apparently they're still close now. So it's a weird story to walk through, but it does have a happy ending in some ways because everybody walked away pretty happy from my understanding. I know her lawyer Todd got a lot of shit for defending her, but I mean, that's his job. And allegedly after that whole situation and a few other things that had led Todd to have like a health related issue, he decided to start prioritizing his family and his life outside of work. So that works out. But I want to briefly give my final thoughts on this whole thing. The first layer of all of this is that obviously she's a conventionally attractive white woman, and the white privilege that she exhibited throughout this whole process is evident. She had a felony charge of a maximum of 12 years. She got out in 2 on good behavior. I can't entirely believe that because according to some sources, during her time in Rikers, she had several infractions, and the same thing when she went to the other jail. She had lots of time in solitude, and she said it didn't bother her. I don't think she necessarily got out on good behavior, but I think she got out because it was a crime against banks, and she's a white woman. In the interview with Whitney, Anna even acknowledges the fact that she does have white privilege, and she learned so much about the system and everything while she was in it, and she was opened up to so much reality in it that a girl that she was incarcerated with had committed very similar crimes to Anna, but because she was a woman of color, she got the maximum amount of time in jail. No minimum, no good behavior, maximum. And Anna is actually very observant of the fact that her whiteness does factor into all of this, and in interviews she will acknowledge that. So at least she's not oblivious to it, but she definitely did benefit from white privilege. Another layer of this is the sexism in a lot of ways. Anna has made a very good point in interviews saying that if she was a man doing all that she did, she would have never gotten arrested. There never even would have been a question about her. But because she's a woman, it kind of creates suspicious around, like, how do you have all this money? And if you look at situations like The Guy from The Wolf of Wall Street or Catch Me If You Can, both Leonardo DiCaprio movies, coincidence? I think not. Both of these movies center around men that essentially did the same thing that Anna did, if not exponentially worse, and were actually heroes for doing it. The guy from Catch Me If You Can is doing like lectures at colleges about how he stole from banks. And the Wolf of Wall Street, as we know, he ended up fine too. So why is it that Anna, as a woman, does the same thing that a man does, and yet she's treated differently for it? There's a lot of layers to the situation, and I think if anyone was to write Anna off as like some dumbass German heiress who got caught, they're very much missing the entirety of this story, because this woman literally built an empire almost out of nothing. Not to keep referencing the interview, but Whitney also made a good point that like banks, people who have money, do not give money to poor people. They give money to rich people. So if Anna showed up to the fucking Citibank or Fortress or whatever the hell and was like, hey, I've got $3 in my bank account, but I have big dreams to open up a foundation, they would tell her to grab a free water and get the fuck out. So in order to get anyone to take her seriously, she needed to create opportunities. And I can't knock her for trying that, because it worked. It worked. And it turns out that they actually did exactly what she was planning to do at that building. And it turned into a great success. And she made a great point in one of the interviews in saying that, like, if she did get away with all of it and it turned out to be great, like, no one would be talking about how she got it done. If she got it done and it was great, people would be just be talking about how great it is. And then the whole reality of her being a millionaire would be true. But if you find her to be a despicable person, you're 100% in your right to do so. I mean, she did commit crimes. She did do things that were illegal. So, you know, there is a right and a wrong to all of this. But in between, we have Anna Delvey. And I'm honestly just so happy I found out about this. Like, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you're interested. Be sure to check out any relevant links to this subject down below, including my social media links if you're interested. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Jasmine, if you don't stop playing with these wires, I'm gonna have to remove you from the preferences. And I don't want to do that because you're cute and you're fuzzy. She was in a relationship with an entrepreneur. Yeah, I already said that. Bye. Ooh, there's a big bug. There's a big bug on my light. Hold on. It's flying! Oh my god. I don't know where it is.
Oh, I was going to ask. Okay, do you know what you want for dinner? Just text me and then I'll see you soon.
Well, what are we getting?
I don't know. You're recording. What do you want?
Oh, I want Chick-fil-A or I want Taco Bell.
I want Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell.
I want to...
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Just text me. I love you.
I love you too.
Have a good recording. I'll knock before I come in.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
I'm getting Taco Bell.